Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another GPAP webinar session where we'll be talking about smart decisions. Start with clear records, build your foundation with proper bookkeeping. Kindly share the webinar link and posters to your WhatsApp groups, statuses, inboxes, so that we can have as many people as possible not miss out on this valuable information. All right. Before we welcome our speaker of the day, kindly allow me to briefly share what the GPAP program is about in just 5 to 7 minutes. So GPAP, that is a Graduate Professional Apprenticeship Program, which is abbreviated as GPAP. What do we need to know about GPAP and what we do? The what is it's a reskilling program providing hands-on experience. Why? Why do we need GPAP? Why GPAP? There is experience, knowledge, and skills gap to access work. So that is the gap we want to close. That's why you need GPAP. Who needs the GPAP? The graduates, career changers, vacists, and university students. So if you have a friend who is a graduate or someone who wants to change career, or a vacist, or yourself, you can come because this program targets you. When it is a monthly basis, we recruit every month and you can come every month, every cohort. Then where we are at Tech Buzz Hub in Ntinda, Kampala. That's where Tech Buzz Hub is found. How? It's full-time on-job shadowing and it's experiential in nature. So duration, how long does it take? We give you 2 years experience in 3 months. So it is a 3-month training, giving you the experience of 2 years. It is ideal for job readiness and navigating workplace hierarchy. Purpose. What is the purpose of this program? To build a successful professional career through mentorship, coaching, exposure, and connection. Capacity. It is limited to 5 people per cohort. So make sure that you're one of them because we always have limited slots and encourage people to be part of it. So our story as the GPAP program started has been in existence since 2017. With the cohorts, we have so far had 130 alumni from 12 cohorts. In our performance, a 96 completion rate. Impact story, 87% influence participants' journey. So expect your journey to be influenced at least beyond 87%. Advanced strategy, it is for industry academia bridge. Yes, so that's our strategy. We want to bridge that gap for where you only have your academic credentials, but are you really needed or ready for that industry skills? So that's why we are targeting, or we're looking up to industry academia bridge. We're bridging that gap. So this is a case study. It is a 10-year employment analysis. The study that has been done. In a period of 10 years, we have had more than 4 million graduates. 4 million. But out of the 4 million graduates, how many number of jobs do we have? We have 700,000 jobs. So meaning that the number of unemployed will be 3,300,000 graduates. That is already a gap. So there are many graduates, there are fewer jobs, and that is a crisis, as you see here. So to add on to that crisis, to that analysis, they are showing you here from different sources, from the Nile Post, from Daily Monitor, from the Guardian, from the New Vision, and other platforms, showing you the number of young people that have been graduating and also have been unemployed for years. So we want to bridge that gap through providing skills to the graduates so they can be job ready and close that gap of joblessness. Why join GPAP program? Why do you need to join GPAP? Gain employable skills through mentorship. Acquire highly demanded and competitive skills set in the job market. That's why you need this GPAP, because like we said, it gives you hands-on experience, valuable work experience, Get hands-on experience in your chosen field, making you a more attractive candidate to potential employers. Networking opportunities, that is exposure. You're going to connect with the like-minded individuals and professionals in your industry, potentially leading to valuable connections and mentorship. So these are the reasons as to why you need GPAP. You need it because these are the things we are offering you into this program. You'll gain skills, you'll gain work experience, and you'll gain networking opportunity. You will also get personal growth, competitiveness. So you develop essential soft skills such as communication, teamwork, and problem solving that will benefit your career. Then you also fast track employment, connections, and jobs. Increase your chances of getting hired quickly as you'll have the skills and experience that employers are looking for. So that's why you need GPAP and you need to join it. So I'm sharing you some of the testimonials. These are our alumni, some of our former colleagues that had to testify about this program. So Alinda Rutaraka is telling us that he didn't know how to market content after creating it. But through the program, I learned how to strategize my content, plan my tasks, optimize it for SEO, and distribute it through various channels like email, LinkedIn, etc., while gaining confidence in design, presentations, and teamwork. That is already a testimonial. Then Best Businje says, I've learned so much through the program. I wasn't familiar with accounting software like QuickBooks, but I now know how to post receipts and expenses, generate financial reports, etc., beyond technical skills. So my confidence has improved. I also learned workplace behavior and professionalism and the long-term career impact. So that's why we are telling you, if you join GPAP, you're not making a mistake, because these are some of the alumni that are giving their testimonies already. This is one of the testimonial from our YouTube sessions. The comment we got is, the GPAP YouTube mentorship session reminded me that becoming employable is not just about technical skills, but rather becoming a person employers and clients can trust. So we are not just giving you skills, but we are also giving you the work ethics, okay? The work ethics and the skills that are really needed in the job market. Another comment, I have followed your mentorship sessions and followed them insightfully, especially on practical skills like content strategizing and data-driven decision-making. This has shaped my approach on content creation. This was Eric Cheyune saying so. So these are comments and feedback we are getting from people. So meaning that you will also get the same experience like these people have got. So these are some of our alumni, cohort 3 alumni. We have Besti Busenja, Alinda, Grace, Livia Chwanka, Julia Sopio, Celine, and Rose Komjuni. So this program has been in existence and we have very many people who can really share with you the experience. So trust it and you want to be great. So who is GPAP's best fit? We have students. They gain valuable work experience and skills to enhance your employability. Graduates bridge the gap between academia, workforce, and increase higher chances. Career developers or development acquire role-based, like you hear the word role-based, acquire role-based training and onboarding to advance your career. So if you want more training in your career, or if you want to change career, make sure that you come and get that. So these are some of the departments we have. What should you expect when you're coming for GPAP? These are the areas we are handling: human resource, accounting and finance, digital marketing, sales and marketing, software engineering, proposal writing and fundraising, multimedia and production, research and projects. So currently, those are the careers or the departments that we are handling at TechBuzz Hub under the GPAP program. So a snapshot of, you would have maybe seen these on your different platforms. So this is just a snapshot of what we do in the program. You read through the details like it shows here. Yes. So we wanted also to quote for you. These are the what wise men quote. These quotes may be very important for you. Tell me I forget, teach me and I may remember, involve me, and I learn. So that's why you're saying GPAP provide hands-on experience, making learning more effective and lasting. So we involve you in the learning. Apprenticeship is the most natural way of learning. It allows the skills to be passed down while fostering discipline, humility, and mastery. The best education doesn't always happen in a classroom. Apprenticeships empower people to learn by doing, ensuring that knowledge is lived, not just memorized. So that's why GPAP will provide the tools, mentorship, and skill development while leveraging passion and trust. So these are some of the discounts and the freebies you will get. Sign up today and get a discount of 40%. So when you recommend potential signups, if you recommend any person and they join the program, you will get 10% of the commission. And we are also offering free webinars. Attend, invite colleagues so that they can attend these free webinars. So that is a free package we are also giving you. Join GPAP today. GPAP offers employable skills, work experience, and career fast tracking. There are limited slots available. Join today to start your professional journey. You can apply here. The link is there. The contacts, you can see them on the screen, or you can also visit our website, which is www.techbuzzhub.org/GPAP. So you could be able to join us. So if you have any questions, you can join our comment section. You can join the comment section and you give all those questions and the feedback there. All right. Thank you very much for listening. You've been a very good audience. So let me also welcome the presenter of the day to take you through to the next presentation. So our speakers today, we have Besti Businje and Roy Ndagire. They will be taking you through for the next presentations. Thank you very much. Over to you, our speakers.
Good afternoon, members. Welcome to yet another exciting session with us. Today we shall be discussing how smart decisions are influenced by paper records, and let's talk for our title today. I believe most of you must be wondering what kind of records are these, and you must be wondering what kind of records are these that influence individuals or businesses to make smart decisions. How the records look like and how they are generated. You must be wondering in which shapes and sizes they come in, and today we are here to go through all that. I want to pose a question to you all. If any one of you in the audience could give me an example of what you think these records are, maybe we could start from there. Just feel free to tell us what you think. Anyone? Okay. These are some of the examples that we have of such records. We have invoices, we have cash receipts, we have payment vouchers, we also have expenses and bank statements. Basically, these are financial records. They could either be personal records, because anyone could issue a cash receipt. Anyone can have a bank statement as long as you have an account. If you're keen on how you do expenditures on your side, you could have a list of, you could have an Excel having expenses and how you are spending your money. So these records alone help in generating what? Generating smart decisions for anyone. Like, you could depend on your bank statement to decide on whether you can purchase something or decide on not to purchase a particular item, basing on how you're spending your money. You could also decide that this month I've overspent, maybe next month let me focus on saving. Yes. Then invoices in particular, these are raised to customers. Let me say we have let me say a customer has come to you, and then depending on how they want their transaction to be recorded, they could ask you to issue an invoice for them so that they can keep track of the record or a transaction they've made for you. So you raise an invoice to them indicating what item they've purchased. There are any taxes involved. Also, the invoice will state the amount of the particular item they have purchased. Moving on to the next slide. We pose another question of how you think these records are generated. Well, we start as records are generated by documenting every financial transaction that you partake. Another way you can generate records is by compiling them. You could also generate records by organizing them, so they're in one place, and then you don't have to find trouble while getting them. And then another way you can generate records is posting entries into the system, because once you post, you are able to save the transactions, and then you can always go back to them in case you need them for reference. And then another way you could also generate such records is by reconciling entries. Yeah. And with that, you get to understand that that is simply how one can practice bookkeeping. So, in simple terms, what we are talking about today is bookkeeping. So, bookkeeping is simply a process of documenting records, compiling them, organizing them, posting data into any accounting system that you could be using, and then later on reconciling the entries to make sure that you are balancing on the side and you don't have any missing transactions also. So bookkeeping generally is just helps you paint financial story, so you can know how your daily transactions have been flowed, and then if you have any misconceptions about any financial data that you have, or if you have anything missing, you can always backtrack, and then you can be able to find out if you have a missing transaction, and if you do have a missing transaction, you're able to enter it, and then you have your books well balanced. We have just been reminded to congratulate all of this, because we now know what bookkeeping is. We have a quick use case on how bookkeeping is done. So in this scenario, we picked a customer who has made an order for cement. So once that order is placed, you as a seller, you're going to send in a quotation. And the quotation is simply a list that has the prices of the cement in this place. It could have delivery charges, then it could also have terms of payment. Yeah. And then once the customer has agreed to what their quotation reads, you then go ahead and deliver goods to the customer. Yeah. And once this, in most cases, when the goods are delivered, if you do not have an invoice, you're going to raise a good receipt note. Yeah. And then that document alone will show that these goods were delivered. Even if you do not have an invoice, you're going to base on the goods received note to raise an invoice. Yeah. And then once that is done, an invoice is delivered, is generated for the goods that have been delivered. And then, basing on the terms of payment that you agreed upon with the customer, the payment is then made. They could choose to either pay cash or pay through the bank. They could issue you a check. And then if it's a credit sale, then there are terms on of payment on when the customer is going to pay you back. You could have agreed with them that you're going to pay back in let me say after a month or 3 months, depending on what the agreement was between you and the customer. So once the payment is made, then that transaction is recorded, and it's recorded by posting entry into an accounting system. You could be using QuickBooks at that point or any accounting system. So once the transaction is recorded, you later on go back to your books and try to reconcile, and that alone is a good basis for bookkeeping. Yeah. Then our next slide is simply showing us other records that you could prepare if you to practice good booking, good bookkeeping practices in your business. So we have the invoices, like I've already explained what an invoice is and the scenarios in which invoices are raised. We have cash receipts is issued to customers that prefer to deal in to transact in cash. So once you receive the cash, you issue a cash receipt there and then. And then we have payment vouchers. These are simply raised in case you have to pay a supplier in this case. So you raise a payment voucher for them. Then expenses, I've explained expenses. You could record these in an Excel sheet, kind of just tracking how your expenditure has been. You put the item that you bought and also include the amount of that item for easy reconciling, basically. And then you also have bank statements. If transactions are going to be made through the bank, then you require to have a bank statement. Just keep track of payments that are being made through the bank by your customers. Yeah. And at this juncture, unless if there are any questions, any comments, you will allow me to let my colleague continue with the next part of the presentation. Thank you all for listening.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much, Grace Kusinde, for that presentation. I'm going to take you through a short video of what she has been talking about, the invoices, how it looks like, and the receipts, some of them, how they look like, some of the payment vouchers that you want to get a deeper understanding of what each of them look like. Yeah, you can access some of the documents on our website. Yeah. So for a receipt, you have to include the company name, the person who has bought, what has he bought, payment voucher, is it a supplier, who are you paying to, the details that include the description, cash payment voucher, you need to also put the amount of the money that you're paying. This is just a general view of a cash book, how it looks like. Yeah. Then a petty cash payment voucher doesn't actually differ from a payment voucher. It's actually the same. Then delivery note, the note that you use when a customer is receiving the goods. Yeah. Then a salary slip, anyway, that is it for what I wanted you to understand of more of that source documents that we use in bookkeeping, basically. So, yeah. So just a quick one. What do you think are the methods, or I could say the types of bookkeeping systems that we use in let's say in accounting? Anyone can speak up, or you can write a chat in the chat box. Okay. So here, basically, businesses or individuals must determine which approach they use before starting bookkeeping, and this can depend on the volume of daily transactions and revenues they incur on a daily basis. So some of the entries, the system that we can use is single entry. Single entry here, it's like keeping a cash diary, but you're trying to record each transaction. Like in single entry, we record each transaction once. It can be using a spreadsheet. It's like a software that is Excel majorly. You're trying to write down the money you've received, the money you've spent. So cloud-based, the financial data is actually stored remotely and accessed via the internet. It's particularly beneficial for businesses with multiple locations. So you have many branches. Let's say you have one in Nansa and you have one in Kampala. So if at all you have many branches, this system could work best for you. A double entry, you record the transaction twice. First and foremost, you have to also understand that there is a rule for double entry. For every debit entry, there must be a corresponding and equal credit entry and vice versa. So if at all you're using double entry, you have to make sure that you're recording the transaction twice. When I go to computerize, this is like using accounting software systems that we use. So software accounting systems that we use, for example, QuickBooks, the things that we shall discuss in other slides below. And this computerized helps you to record the transactions automatically. It actually helps you to record this transaction. Where is it supposed to go and where is it debited? Where is it credited? So this system helps you to do that. Then manual, you're trying to record the financial data using hand. Could be by using pen and paper. There is no need of a computer or any accounting software. That's for manual. You're just doing it like manually. You're writing off the data. Then when you go to outsourced, here it involves an external accounting department managing your accounting needs. You're looking out to see which accounting firm can help you to manage your accounting needs. You don't have to worry about how am I going to prepare this. You have someone already who is going to do that for you externally. Yeah, so the accounting tools used, what do you think are the accounting softwares or tools that we use in bookkeeping? Epa, what do you think are the accounting softwares that we use in accounting?
Well, I think some of the accounting tools that I use, I'm not an accountant, but to the best of my knowledge, I think tools like Excel. I've also heard of QuickBooks. So yeah, that's what I really think. Okay, thank
All right. Thank you very much, Epa. That was a great contribution. Yeah, you're right. We have QuickBooks. Excel is also, it's not a software, but it's a system that we use though manually. Then we have Odoo. Those are software that we use for either large businesses, it can be a small business. It doesn't vary that this is specific. Yeah. We have QuickBooks, Odoo, Manager, we have Viapa, SAP. These are just some of the softwares that we use when we are doing accounting tasks for bookkeeping. So when I go to my next slide, I'll talk about what are the activities or what are the tasks involved. When it comes to bookkeeping, what comes to your mind? What are the things that we're supposed to do when it comes to bookkeeping? Rose, do you want to give us a submission on that?
Maybe I will think about entering data, like data entry. I have no idea really, but I think it all starts with that. Yeah.
That's very nice. So that's a great contribution. Data entry. What I'll take you through some of the few things that we do in data entry, and one of them is recording. When you hear recording, it is actually but you have to understand every business or in an individual must record details of every financial transaction, like the payments the business receives from clients, the payments to suppliers, or the bills it pays. You're trying to gather information. For example, it can be such as the amount, and what the payment was for, who made this payment, and who received the payment. You're trying to keep these daily records. Let me give a use case on a customer made the purchase using cash. How do we do that? So the transaction is recorded as a cash sale. So you're trying to record. So posting financial transactions, here you're entering the data like she said. You're entering the data to the corresponding source documents. The corresponding source documents could be a receipt. So after recording the cash sale, you need to issue or generate a receipt for this customer. So the entry you've made is a cash sale, but then the source document that you've done is the receipt. Then reconciling, you also do reconciliations during bookkeeping. And how do you do that? Here you're collecting all the sales receipts and you're gathering and organizing all your daily receipts. After doing that, you count all the actual cash in your system. It can be a manual, it can be a drawer, it can be anything, but you're trying to avoid all this by calculating all the total value of your receipts and comparing this to the total. That is how you're going to be able to reconcile. So the use case was a customer makes a purchase using cash. The transaction is recorded as a cash sale, thereby generating him or her a receipt, and the bookkeeper is then able to reconcile the cash with the receipt. And some of the other activities that we do, handling accounts. Here you're trying to track the customer's information. Like you want to track down the customers with unpaid invoices, who has not yet paid, or which customers have accounts that are overdue. You're trying to track this down. Let me give you a use case. A bookkeeper actually tracks down the customers with unpaid invoices. This could be supplier payments that are overdue of their payments, like you've not yet paid some suppliers and it has taken over some time. So you're trying to track all that down. My other activity in bookkeeping would be reporting. You're trying to prepare these financial reports. This could be you want to understand which reports. It involves using a business financial records. You need to create these reports that show how a business is doing financially, because they help you analyze how much is the business owning. This could be the assets. How much is it owing? Like how many loans do you have and how much does it spend? How much does it earn? You will, using these reports, it will help you also identify if it is either making a profit or it's making a loss. So that's what happens when it comes to reporting. Yeah, so in also bookkeeping, it is also known that you assisting in tax preparation. Like you're not the one preparing, but you're assisting with the records. You assist with the tax preparation by providing the accurate financial records needed to do the tax returns that we need. A use case, a bookkeeper tracks down the customers with the unpaid invoices, supply payments that are due, and then makes the financial reports basing on the financial records that you've given to this accountant, let's say. So basically, that's what involves, or critically giving you an understanding of what happens in bookkeeping. So, why do you think bookkeeping matters? Anyone to submit? Why do you think bookkeeping matters?
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Yes, I think bookkeeping is important to help businesses know their financial position.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Any other? Okay. So just to add on that, it helps to keep your business organized. How does this happen? You're trying the bookkeeping system helps you to systematically record every financial transaction. This could be sales, this could be payments, this could be purchases, this could be receipts, because bookkeeping organizes your day-to-day financial activities in a structured way so that even accounting tasks can be done accurately, efficiently, and stress-free. Because without it, important documents like invoices, receipts, and expense records can easily get lost. So basically, that's how it can be able to keep your business organized. Better decision making. I'll give you a use case. You run a small bakery and you've been thinking about hiring a second baker, but you're unsure if you can afford the extra salary. But because you reviewed last year in lost sales, thanks to your bookkeeping records, you now review your monthly sales trends. You also review the cash flow from the past 6 months and you discover profits have steadily increased for the past 3 months. So based on your records, you confidently decide to hire a second baker because of the high demand that you've seen. That is how you're able to make better decision making when it comes to bookkeeping. Makes tax time easier. It helps you stay organized by recording and storing financial information like receipts, invoices. This means you're actually not scrambling or panicking at the last minute to gather documents or correct any errors or explain any missing records to the tax accountant that is available at the time. Yeah. Then attracting investors. When you have clear records, investors are actually attracted to your business and they now see value of why they need to invest in your business because you have clear and accurate records. So those are some of the. It's not moving. It's not moving. It's not moving. So, like I was saying, it also improves in cash flow management. You're able to you're able to give a bookkeeping helps you to give a clear picture of the money flowing in and out of your business. It helps you identify the cash shortages, if any, so you can make timely decisions to avoid crisis or make the most of the extra funds that are available at the time. Tracking incomes and expenses, bookkeeping records Bookkeeping records every sale and every expense, giving you a detailed view of how much money moves through your business. Because you understand, it also helps you control the costs. It also identifies profitable areas and also helps to spot wasteful spending. So a use case, you run a bakery, but bookkeeping will help you track money coming in, that is the incomes, money coming in, the money you spend, those are the expenses. Could be things like rent, electricity, water, the things you're actually giving out money for. That is what expenses mean. Then also supports budgeting. You're able to know how to plan for the future. Basically, that is what I mean. Then the risks for not bookkeeping. The risks for not bookkeeping, you'll be able, okay, the risks for not bookkeeping. Here I mean, what are the risks involved for not bookkeeping? Anyone who wants to submit, what could be some of the risks that are involved for not bookkeeping?
Hello, me again. I
Hello.
think the risk can be a company can be receiving money on a daily, but not know that they are actually operating under losses because they don't track their expenditures.
Thank you very much, Blessing. If there's no other, then I'll take you through then. We have poor financial decisions. Without accurate records, actually, you're actually guessing the business financial health. This can lead to overspending or investing at a wrong time. An example, you run a bakery, but you want to expand your business, but you do not have accurate records. Here, it discourages investors because they'll be discouraged to invest in your business once you do not have this accurate record that I talked about. Yeah, then cash flow problems, you do not know how much money is coming in. So you won't know when the money is running low, or when is it high? Like it can also lead to missed payments. Business can also get shut down due to the lack of funds. Can also lead to disorganization. Receipts can go missing, invoices can get mixed up, and it becomes stressful to find the records when needed, especially during the emergencies or audits. When I talk of audits, I think some of the people of the accountants here can understand. When it comes to audits and you have missing things, you can even get penalties. Yeah. We also have threat and fraud. When you do not track, you might not notice if employees actually are stealing or if there are errors. An example that I talked about. Yeah. Yeah, so a cashier can also begin removing small amounts of money if at all you're not doing bookkeeping, or someone can also be voiding some receipts. Voiding actually just means canceling these receipts so that it can appear as if it actually never happened. So basically, in conclusion, bookkeeping is a good practice, not for just businesses actually, but also for individuals as well. Yeah, then bookkeeping isn't just a good business, it's also a tool for empowerment, transparency, and future growth. So if at all we have any questions, that marks the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for listening in.
All right. Thank you very much, Roy and Best, for that wonderful presentation. To our listeners, I just want to confirm if you have any questions. Might you have a question? Anyone with a question? Okay, if you don't have a question, I'm going to ask what you have understood or your takeaways. Do I start with Betty McLaughlin? Do you mind unmuting and telling us what your takeaway has been from the session? As Adam is preparing. Okay, I can see there are questions here. How does one minimize fraud in a small business? And then where can we get the slides? I'll just quickly answer the last one. How you can get these slides. All these information is shared on YouTube as a recording. So you can always feel free to visit our YouTube channel. It's called bit.ly/GPAP channel. Let me put it in the chat room as I invite Roy to respond to this question. How does one minimize fraud in a small business? Is there anyone in the audience, now that you have been listening in, that has an answer to this question? Maybe you have tracked some of the ways how fraud can easily be stopped in any small business, if you are attentive, of course. Yes, Adam.
Yeah, a good afternoon to everyone on the call.
Good
I
afternoon.
want to first thank the StartHub management for organizing this and Roy Agile for the good session that we have had so far. So going with the question direct, how we can minimize fraud in a small business, and particularly an owner of a small business. And I think the best way to avoid fraud is to be sure to maintain records on your stock so that you're sure of the items that you have in your shop. For every time you to maybe leave a person on your business or you have an employee or is not there, you should at least do regular checkups and also be sure about the stock that you have, you yourself. That's the answer that I have.
Thank you very much, Adam. And I think that summarizes it all. Always doing stock count. And one of the reasons why all the documents that have been shared or discussed are to be sure that tomorrow you can know how much of stock you have left, how much of stock you've sold at what price, so you can easily actually even tell whether you made a profit or not. The reason why you are doing bookkeeping is so later on you are able to do financial analysis. Financial reporting, of course, after then you can do financial analysis. And that when you're doing financial analysis, you're trying to gauge the health of your business. Is it profitable? Is it not profitable? Does it have any signs of profitability maybe in the near future? And maybe it can also help you tomorrow decide whether to pivot. Pivot means change the business and do something else, or keep in the same business but change maybe the products you are selling or buying or something like that. But simply to avoid fraud is to make sure that you emphasize bookkeeping at 100%. If someone buys something, you can have a financial policy that says as long as you're buying something above $2 or $1, $1, of course, that is about 3,700. It must come with a receipt so that you are able to so that you are able to, I mean 3,700 Uganda shillings, so that you are able to know, to track any big monies that have been spent. Then the small monies can always be kept into the petty cash. Yeah, I hope that answers you, Mr. Abaka. Any other questions? I know we are already past time. I want to take the opportunity, if there is no any other question. If you have a question, you can raise up your hand. I wanted to check in to see what takeaways. Leila Nansasi. What is your takeaway from the session? You can unmute and speak to us. How about Julius? Joshua Donald? I don't know whether this means that we didn't pick up, but I want to thank you all for taking the time to. I know maybe the reason for no questions, everything was super and crystal clear. Of course, there are always two situations or scenarios. Either you have not understood or you have understood everything. And at this juncture, allow me thank you very, very much for making the time to attend this session. Just be sure that the next week at the same time, we shall be having another session which shall be communicated through your emails. So also this session is going to be uploaded to our YouTube channel, which is that channel that I've put in the chat room. So you can always check out maybe sessions you've missed. But most importantly, we are giving these sessions because maybe they can help you grasp 1, 2, 3 things, but they do not make you a competitive person. We encourage, if you can, invest in yourself 1 million shillings for 3 months. The program will be able to even get you much more competitive and able to get highly paying jobs. Okay, jobs that give you a what? That give you a salary that you feel you deserve or you are comfortable to have. But without this program, most likely you will be sheep or not having proper direction, because even if they told you, or even if you did internship in whichever organization, as long as they did not have a structured onboarding internship program, that is where there are mentors provided for, where you're given daily guidance, direction, and how you're doing things, not just calling you, come do this, come do this, come do that, but giving you the leadership to actually take charge and responsibility on how certain things are done, then most likely you still definitely need this program. Other than that, I want to again thank you very much for making the time to attend this session. And finally, Joshua, kindly, I don't know what you want to say. Yes. Crispin says, my takeout is that bookkeeping eases accountability for income expenses and planning for future endeavors. Thank you. Ashley, Joshua, you wanted to say something? Kindly unmute and speak. Thank you for reminding us about this. Thank you very much. Other than that, I wish you a very wonderful day. For those who are still at work, sorry for taking more of your time to get back to your jobs and work. But we encourage you to start practicing effective bookkeeping for effective decisions. If you're working for an institution and you are providing good service with bookkeeping, it means that you give them a chance to grow, or you are giving your organization a chance to grow. Thus, tomorrow you can easily say, I want a salary raise, and they will listen to you. Otherwise, you might always think you want a salary raise, and your boss will always tell you, I don't see the reason why you need it, because how much are you adding into the income statement at the end of the month? So if you can never think about how much you're adding into the income statement, or it is not clear, however direct or indirect it might be, then you know you'll never get a salary raise. I want to use that moment to also close the session and see you next week. Thank you and bye-bye.